Hi, and welcome to the Your Success Personally podcast with your host, yours truly, Vanessa G, where we talk about success as defined by you. Here, we don't look at the playbook of others to bring you down. Instead, we are going to cover topics that pertain to how you, as an individual, can reach your goals and your potential. Don't look at others to define your success. You create it. Your rules, your way, and how you get there. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Your Success Personally podcast with yours truly, Vanessa G. How's everybody doing today? You know, today is a great day, and even if everything isn't 100%, you don't have to let yourself linger too long in a sad state. Life is so very precious, and time is limited. You can overcome. So thanks again for joining with me. As promised, this is a continuation from our last episode, where we began a discussion on care and success. Please go back and feel free to listen to our last episode. But just to recap briefly, I believe that there is a correlation between self-care and success. I shared with you some highlights from just a few articles from both entrepreneurial and mental health articles that have covered this topic. But the biggest takeaway I hope you received is that self-care begins with us. You and I have to make the decision to make us a priority so that we can succeed at what we do. So today, we look at a few self-care tips as we consider self-care and how to achieve it. Self-care has some general implications, and it can be very personal in nature. What are we talking about? Well, as a general whole, most people are doing some sort of basic self-care. Generally, people avoid dangerous situations. Generally, people get up and they wash themselves, they feed themselves, and do what they need to do to support themselves. Just doing these things shows a level of care about oneself. However, as one is focused on or motivated to excel in their careers or even ministry, the road to your goals can be rough at times. Spending time going a little deeper in taking care of yourself sometimes is overlooked in our lives. So here are just a few, but not an all-inclusive list of tips to go deeper into self-care. My first self-care tip is to go to sleep. Go to sleep. And one would think that this is one of the basic things that people do as part of care. However, many who are entrepreneurs are often bivocational, where they're still working full-time traditional jobs and are doing their passion positions part-time. And often people are talking, now so you know this is live, right? Often people are taking their evening way into the next morning and do struggle to balance this with their day jobs, and sleep oftentimes does suffer. Sleep is an important component to our lives because it enables the body to repair and be fit and ready for the next day. So getting adequate rest may also help in other areas of physical health, such as preventing excess weight gain or heart disease and increased illness duration. You know, there's an article from the Harvard Mental Health Letter, Harvard Medical School. Well, they did research regarding the connection between sleep and mental health. And basically, it says that sleep deprivation affects your psychological state and mental health. Their study found that Americans are notoriously sleep deprived. And I can really attribute to that because I too sometimes find myself trying to finish up my passion position projects. And, when you're all in it and excited, you're not looking at the time. But we need to know that sleep deprivation can exacerbate, cause problems, cause the particular problems to grow, such as depression, bipolar disorder, ADHD, and anxiety disorders. So, getting a good night's sleep for everyone, including entrepreneurs, including those in the ministry, including those who are influencers trying to make change. It promotes staying calm, it clears the mind, and it controls one's anger and makes them better focus. So go get some sleep. The second tip that I offer up for self-care is to go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. And when I speak of going to the doctor, I am talking about keeping regular physicians and mental health provider appointments. There are so many people out there who don't or are afraid to go to the doctor. I wonder why that is. I do have some memories from childhood where I would go and get my shots, my immunizations, but generally, I haven't had any traumatic memories from going to the doctor. Also, as a therapist, while maintaining and attaining my master's degree, my program required that I undergo individual and group therapy. And I thank God that this requirement was in place because at that time, my mother was sick and dying. And so it happened that these therapies took place after she passed away and were so helpful to me. I am not just talking about addressing immediate concerns, but to take time for preventative care, right? Even going to the dentist the 1 or 2 times a year for a checkup can be so vital to your overall well-being. There are going to be stressors on you, on your body, your mind, your mental state, and your spirit. One must take the time to get out there, get their checkup, and get repaired, so to speak. You will take your car to get checked out regularly with a tune-up and such. You will take your children for regularly scheduled checkups. So why not you? It's going to be extremely difficult to run anything or to take care of anyone if you're falling apart. If you want to practice great self-care, go to the doctor. So listen, we need to get our proper amount of sleep. We need to go to the doctor. And my third point, and it's my last point, it's to reflect. There is a need for everyone to reflect. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defined reflect as this: to realize, consider, think on. But as I researched more on this, I would take the definition a step further, and for us to, or anyone, to engage in reflective meditation, which is a practice of becoming more aware of one's own state of being, bringing one back to oneself, and studying, reflecting on who and where one is at the present time. And when I say that, I'm talking about where one is mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. Now, I'm not proposing any new age stuff. When I say this, that type of thing is not for me. But sometimes when we're in full steam ahead mode, we tend to be so focused on the task or goal at hand, we don't take time to check in and reflect on how you're doing. Is what you are doing actually working? Are you on task? And what do you need to get there? We all need to take a beat from time to time to stop and consider and think. It doesn't matter what you may be working on. This is a self-care practice that is crucial and at times very much so overlooked. It is a time to recenter and refocus and to check to ensure one is truly on track. I also have another self-care item that I'm thinking about, and that is to address your issues. Address your issues. Yes, this tip somewhat bleeds into the others. Address your issues. We all have issues when we hear this. And when we hear this, we think mostly of mental and or emotional issues. And yes, that falls under this umbrella. Running a business, conducting business, trying to manage in relationships, trying to be a help in ministry. Doing all these things are challenging in and of themselves. But carrying issues can really get in the way of productivity, cause distractions, and add extra stress to day-to-day life. Talk to someone trusted, or a therapist, or journal about it. Good self-care is about taking care of you so that you can operate at your best. Now, on the other side of things, you may have issues in the operation of your business or ministry. It goes without saying, if you have issues that need to be addressed operationally or administratively, it could cause problems with you reaching your goals. Take time to evaluate your processes and make sure your processes are working and fix what doesn't work. Yet another that's coming to my mind right now, another great self-care tip, and that would be exercise, right? And exercise should be a given, but so many choose to exclude this vital activity from their schedules, and in turn, do themselves a disservice. The body needs exercise to function. Exercise promotes cardiovascular health. Exercise promotes the movement of blood in the body and overall well-being. Exercise is a habit the wealthy tend to have in common. Statistically speaking, more than 50% of the wealthy exercise daily for at least 30 minutes. Billionaire Mark Zuckerberg is quoted as saying, Doing anything well requires energy, and you have a lot of energy when you're fit. In a 2018 Forbes magazine article about success, it states that really successful people have an uncompromising attitude about fitness and exercise. Exercise instills building blocks for achieving success, particularly the inability to commit oneself to regular exercise is a determining factor to reaching one's full potential. I mean, the Forbes article asserts that regular exercise enhances one's physical and mental state, which in turn uplifts all other areas of life, helping one become more goal-oriented, boosting mood and confidence. So exercise is truly key. You know, exercise can make the difference between living 50 years and 80 years, and that's 100% real. You know, a lot of health challenges can be combated with regular physical exercise. Well, the only other thing that I can think of, and I know I said I had three, and it turns out I have three more points. This is the last of the three more that I have in terms of self-care, and that would be to believe in God or a higher power. Believe in God or a higher power. So, as a minister and a person of faith, I find that my belief in God has carried and protected me on a deeper level. There are some people who only do what they do for the material, for the name, or the fame. Then there are others like myself in ministry, in helping professionals that want to help others and make the world a better place. These desires, I believe, often come from a place of faith in God. And even more than that, I believe that for people who believe in God, it provides them with a sense of purpose for the hard work that they do. Belief in God provides for many the meaning to their lives and the fuel to the sacrifice to do what they do in their goals to succeed. For many, the belief in God and attachment to this higher power creates a confidence that their goals, dreams, and hopes are being watched over and protected. But I think the biggest part of self-care a belief in God covers is something bigger than oneself to go to when you're feeling down, unsure, or even afraid. People have someone to pray to who they believe can help when no one else can. I know for myself, in my most loneliest moments, I found that God has been a friend to me when I felt friendless. We all need someone, and I'm not going to be politically correct on this subject. Life can be hard, and there is nothing like knowing that God is out there, knows your concerns, and has your back. So, a belief in God, I think, is tremendous. Listen, just a few self-care tips that I hope will help you on your journey to success. Go get some sleep. Go to the doctor. Reflect and do meditative reflecting. Address your issues. Exercise. Get that physical exercise in. And listen, take some time to get to know your Creator. Believe in God or a higher power. That's it for now. Until next time. So, we have come to the end of our time together today. I hope our discussion was helpful to you. I wish you positive vibes and encourage you to do you as you climb the ladder of success. If you're feeling this episode, don't forget to give me a great rating. If you're really loving this, please subscribe and join the success journey. For more encouragement along the way, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Your Success Personally. And remember, your success by your rules. Bye-bye.